Thank you for staying with us. Now let's get another perspective, and we have Atta joining us from our Abuja studio. He is a tech enthusiast. Thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Of course. I mean, so the latest big boy in tech, apparently the visit was in your city. That's Abuja. Jack Ma's visit to the State House to see the vice president and talk about how does that make you feel, first and foremost?
So it's very interesting that all these tech giants are paying attention to Africa right now, especially Nigeria, because we literally are the strongest and biggest market in Africa. And if you're looking at what we could grow to, what we can grow to be, and the potentials that are in Nigeria, it makes absolute sense that these guys are coming this way at this time. And it's also really interesting to see that Jack Ma didn't just come as him, like the other CEOs came. He led an entire investment team as well to Nigeria to work with the government and see what areas they can actually create development here.
All right, great. So, I mean, many see this as a welcome development, just like you. But the question now is, how are we going to benefit? Yes, he came with a whole an investment team, and I understand he has this program going on, for African entrepreneurs. But that apart, what are we gaining from these visits?
Okay, so there are two things. We have to be ready as a country and as an ecosystem to make the most of these visits. One very key area to look at is how well we've been able to develop the potential that we have in here. There are a lot of human resource here that we can develop and use to take advantage of these opportunities. E.g., in 2017, in India as a company had about 3.9 million developers working remotely for a number of companies abroad, and that 3.9 million developers were able to pull in about $178 billion to the Indian economy. That's more than Nigeria makes from oil and the banking industry combined together. So it shows the potential that is there if we can continue to develop the talents that we have here. Look at what the Twitter CEO said. Jack made it clear that Twitter is taking a more remote approach towards hiring and engaging tech talents in Nigeria, in the company, and a number of companies are doing that as well. So Nigeria will be a really good place if we can get ourselves to that level.
So let me just quickly comment. Let me just quickly comment. Atta, let me quickly comment. How do we develop quickly? How do we make that development? How do we position ourselves, to be able to tap from all of this that you've been talking about?
What we need to do as a country to take advantage of all of these international recognition and attention that we are getting right now is to first be in a position where we can take advantage of it. One is, what do we have in abundance that these people can use, or these people need, that is bringing them to this place? One, we have the market, we have the user base, we have a lot of potential as well to develop along the tech side of things. I mentioned earlier how India did it, and with about 3.9 million developers working on different platforms, they were able to pull in $178 billion into the country, which is more than Nigeria make from both oil and gas and the banking sector combined. As a country, we need to start taking our technology seriously. We need to start taking our startups seriously. We need to start taking IT professionals seriously, and not just people that can easily get harassed by police and etc. for having a laptop or a computer. We need to start encouraging, especially the young generation of IT experts. One other thing that we can do is to create the necessary funds that we can use to empower the startups. One, because most of the investments and funds that have gone into startups in Nigeria today are foreign-based. And if that continues to happen, then we are looking at a future where the bulk of IT companies in Nigeria will be foreign-owned. Most of the technology being deployed will be controlled by foreign investors who will have continuous say in how these companies run their operation, and it won't really be to our advantage if that's the future that we are looking at. So we need to consciously make efforts as a country, as people, to invest in our own technology and keep a reasonable amount of the equity local. Another thing that I think is very paramount is investment in core infrastructure. We're talking about data centers, and that's still Microsoft coming to do it. What are we really doing as a people that is Nigeria, that is our own, that we are the ones doing? We need to start asking ourselves those hard questions, because if everything is foreign, I mean, I like the foreign attention. I like that these guys are coming to Nigeria. I like, it just shows the potential that they are seeing, that we are not even making conscious efforts to develop here as a country and as a people. So we need to continue to make conscious efforts to develop these things that they are saying, and the only way we can do that is to be very deliberate about it.
Thank you, Asa, for joining us on the program and sharing your thoughts. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with the movie videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. Please stay with us.
This week's most viewed videos begins with the discovery of an illegal detention camp in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, where over 200 people were rescued. It is followed by another discovery, but this is in Oshodi area of Lagos, of an illegal clinic. Third Spot sees protesters at the office of the Department of State Services demanding the release of Omoyele Sowore.
Many people say Yahaya Bello is young, that he has fought many people. For everyone that the governor has offended, I am asking all of you to forgive him. He is young. He is supposed to make mistakes. When you are young, you make mistakes, but you learn from them. On his behalf, I am kneeling down to beg all of you to forgive Yahaya Bello if he has offended you. But he cares about the people of Kogi State.
In second, Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai goes on his knees to plead with voters on behalf of his counterpart in Kogi, Yahaya Bello, ahead of the governorship elections. While the dispersing of protesters at the headquarters of the DSS with gunshots takes the #1 spot.
Well, there you go. Those were the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. However, that's the program this week, but let's keep our hopes alive that these visits at the end of the day will boost, develop, and make Nigeria's tech ecosystem remain the darling it presently is to the world. Thank you for watching, and let's keep the conversation going via the social media addresses showing on your screen. I'm Victor Matthias. Bye for now.